Hi, welcome to CoderDojo Virtual Edition. My name is Lori. This is session 4 in our fall series, where we are developing our own personal website using HTML. Last session, we concluded with learning about lists, and this session, we're going to investigate tables. In addition to tables today, we're going to learn how to link to an external website within your own web page. Add a table to our web page. We will use table elements. Embedded within our table element will be a TR tag, which stands for table row, a TD tag, which stands for table data, so it will hold the data embedded in your row, or a TH tag, which stands for table column. Let's get started making our table. We must start our table using a table element. So here's our opening tag, and here is our closing tag. We're going to then use a TR element. There's our opening table row element, and we'll do a closing table row element. That's embedded in our table element. Embedded within our table row element is our table column element, and I'll put this in a bit further so it stands out. And we'll have to have our closing table column element. So the reason that we're using a table row to embed our table column is because when we print our column, they will show up from left to right in a row, and that's why our columns are also embedded in a table row tag. I'm going to do my first column is going to be called colors. My second column is going to be shapes. And my third column is going to be called numbers. Let's save this document and see if in fact it comes out to be the title of columns. And there we have it. 3 columns, colors, shapes, numbers. Let's continue how we'll add data to those columns. So, in order to add data to the columns, we are going to start again with a table row. Then we're going to do our table data tag, and the data for colors, I will do red, closing tag. Now, you'll notice that I put red in the top row, just like the title colors is in the top row. The data that we want to show up under the title shapes will go in the next row to align with the shapes. And our third data set will be a number, and I'm going to write it just so as not to confuse. I'll write the number 3, closing there's the data. Now I didn't do a closing table row tag, so let's get that in here. Here we go. So this table row shows columns with these headings. This table row, which will be the next row in our table, is going to show data that corresponds with these columns. Let's now save what we've coded here and see. There we have it. We have the headings of the 3 columns, and then we have the data that goes underneath. So now that we know how to embed tables and lists, we're going to have a quick look at how to embed an external link into your web page. There is a way to add a link to another area on your web page. Today, we're just going to learn how to add an external link. So they're done with an anchor tag, which is a small letter A. That's the anchor tag that we use to add a link. As well as an anchor tag, we're going to use an href. Href tells our browser where to find the image. So I'm going to get rid of this and let's start. First, we're going to create a new paragraph and we're going to write some text. So I'll do something like, please click on this link for more information. And we're going to need a closing paragraph tag, so I'll put that down here. Now, let's put in our anchor tag. Now, unlike a typical tag, we are not going to put the second angle bracket. We're going to leave that off, and it's going to be put on in a bit. The href and equals. Now we're going to go and get a URL from something that we want to link to. I'm going to link to the Kingston Public Library. I have to use a double quotation mark at the beginning and a double quotation mark at the end. And then we're going to put our closing angle bracket that we did not put here. It's going to go right here. Following that angle bracket, we will put in some text that will not be displayed, but this will actually be the link. So I'm going to write Kingston, Frontenac, Public Library. And now I'm going to use my closing anchor tag. So you see we use the closing angle bracket here, but the closing anchor tag here. This URL will not show up on our website, but this Kingston Frontenac Public Library will show up as the link. In summary, this is the coding that you should see. When I went over and checked my work, the website did not work. I had to double check everything that I had done, and there was an HTTPS in front of the quotation mark, and there was another error as well. In fact, my URL was not correct. I simply did a Google search to get to the website, and that was the URL I used, and it didn't work. So then I went back in and found the correct website for the Kingston Frontenac Public Library. It's right here, and entered it in, and now it works very effectively. So you will have to go through and double check that everything is done correctly, or you won't be able to render your page as planned. Here now, I will show you how when we save this, reopen, when I click on my link, it actually does go to the Kingston Frontenac Public Library. I've left you with a lot to work on and practice through the next 2 weeks. You can practice making tables, adding lots more data than we did today, and then practice linking to an external site on your web page. Next session, we'll investigate how to embed an image into your website. And right after that, we will begin to use CSS to stylize and bring our web page to life.